Hey guys, what's up? It is the Kerbal here, and we have just received breaking news from our geosynchronous satellite here, spy satellite. We have now got a fix on some sort of unidentified flying object that we are hoping is not Milo, but we are going to use the technologies on our satellite to actually identify what kind of craft it is. It was just launched about 16 minutes ago according to our satellite, which has only been in orbit for 1 day, so that would mean if this is something from Milo, he is working quite fast to try to quote unquote what was it end our tyrannical empire. So here we go. We are going to try to lock on. Obviously we're not going to be able to see it against the dark side of Kerbal. It would just be way too hard. It'd just be way too hard to try to spot it from the dark side, just against blackness against blackness. So we're going to see if we can get it to the light side before we lock on. Hopefully that won't be too late. From what our readings can tell, it does seem just to be a regular satellite. It may have a camera or two on it, but no sort of weapons were detected from our long-range scanners. Those we have at the KSC, so we don't really need a satellite for those. So here we go. Looks like we're getting a fix on it, and there it is. Managed to get a lock on it with our satellite, and it looks to be just a regular satellite, except it, according to our signatures, it does have one of Milo's ex-kerbalnauts with him. Another one of our Kerbals left the space program, and it appears that he is up there with them. So this is not good. That is a Milo satellite, so we are going to have to try to shoot it down. We're going to have to obviously go at this mission at night, because we're going to use one of our untested weapons. We haven't actually had a chance to test these yet. They've just been developed by our scientists, but no testing has been done on Kerbal, because we don't want to test them on Kerbal, obviously, so that the public does not find out about this little episode that Milo is going through. And so we're going to have to test this out now. I guess a premature test, which is never a good idea to prematurely test a weapon, especially a rocket. We have 3 different rocket designs. We have large missile, medium missile, and small missiles all designed. So we're going to go with the large missiles, mostly because they have a 90-kilometer range, which is good, because in space you're dealing with large amounts of distances. So, but these things do pack quite a punch. They have a 2-kilometer explosion range, so anything within 2 kilometers of this thing is going to be shredded. So we have to make sure that we are within 90 kilometers, but far enough away so that we do not get blown up by this thing. And we are going to be launching a new spaceship. We're not going to be launching a satellite. This is going to be a manned operation, because I don't really think we should trust a robot to do a Kerbal's job, if you know what I mean. And there we go. We're attaching another one of our specialized targeting computers, the laser system, onto it. Attaching some parachutes, because this is going to be a return mission. He is going to be coming back to Kerbal alive, we pray. We did not detect any weapons on this again, so it should be quite easy. Normally I would go for we would probably the company would go to try to take out the satellite by going in there and taking out the Kerbal that's in there, which according to our sources is Jebediah. We thought he was on our side, but I guess he decided to join Milo's rebellion there. But we would normally go in and take him out manually. We'd probably just go in and evict him from the satellite, but we want to show Milo what he's dealing with. We do not want to make him think that this is just a little game. We want to show him what he's up against. So we are going to actually go to try to take out Jebediah with missiles. We are not going to aim for the actual capsule itself per se. These missiles don't actually have any explosives attached to them. These are just the actual missile devices. So what we're going to try to do is just take out his what are they called? What are they? Oh my god. The solar panels. That's what we're going for. We're going to try to take out his solar panels so that he has no power. Thus, all his computing technology turns off, and forcing Milo to go up and try to get him out safely. So we're not actually going to try to kill him. We're just going to try to disable his satellite. We are not a war company, obviously, so killing is not something that we are really designed for. But we are going to have to try to test out these weapons anyway, so might as well make use of it. And here we go, we're just designing a small little capsule. We're not going to hide this in any sort of fairing or anything, as we were going to be launching in the dead of night when everyone is asleep on this side of Kerbal. That way we don't have to worry about the public getting catching on or seeing any of this. And it just makes it a lot easier because then we don't need to use fairings, which just add mass, and it's just too much. And probably the missiles won't actually fit in a fairing anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But here we go, we're just adding 2 large solid fuel boosters and 1 skipper engine with a liquid fuel tank to launch this thing into orbit. It's not going to be a very long orbit. It's probably going to be very, very like 70-kilometer orbit, just bare minimum of an orbit, just so we can take out this thing and then head back to Earth. So let us start this orbit. Now, when I was recording this, because I'm doing post commentaries, I always do. When I was recording this originally, I had accidentally made it so that it was recording my voice, and I was talking to my friends on Skype as I was recording this, not thinking that it was recording my voice, but it was. So all of this is actually footage from the little intro that you guys saw. Cut that out. What you're actually hearing is just regular solid fuel boosters just repeating the sound over and over and over again. So you'll hear the sound quite a bit. I actually think I did a pretty good job of editing it so it sounds like a regular engine, but it's just this exact same sound, just repeating over and over again. But here we go, we're getting into a 70-kilometer orbit. We're just using solid fuel boosters. We're going a lot faster than I would usually like to go when you're just ascending into an orbit. I like to keep it to like within the 100 meters per second to 150 meters per second. Because that's regularly around terminal velocity. You never want to go higher than terminal velocity on an ascent, because then you're just fighting the air resistance, and there's no point to that. It's just wasting your fuel. So if you just keep it within like 100 to 150 meters per second, it's just a more efficient use of your fuel. But it's all fuel boosters, so who cares anyway, right? And there we go, we detach our solid fuel stage, and now we're on our liquid fuel stage. And we are going to start our gravity burn right now. Obviously we're 15,000 meters into the air. And it looks like with that we misjudged our timing on the launch a little bit, so the UFO, the unidentified flying object, not obviously like the alien UFO, you're thinking of the actual terminology of the UFO. The UFO is a little bit ahead of us, so we're going to have to sling around. Is that the proper term that I'm looking for? Yeah, I guess, why not? Sling around in our orbit for a few times here before we can catch up to it. Use our engine to actually burn closer to it. But it looks like we are getting that orbit nice and high, starting to go for the 45 degree. Yeah, it looks like we have the 45 degree angle now, and the solid fuel boosters are still playing. If you can't tell, it's the exact same sound from the beginning of the launch. I mean, you're going to be hearing that sound a lot, so yeah. Not really much to talk about during this, but I guess the future of Milo's Milo's Revenge? Milo's Rebellion, I really can't decide. But I'm hoping to keep this series going for a little while. It's really fun to make these videos. I had a blast making this video, except I did encounter a few problems here and there. But it was so much fun making and editing this video, so I really want to extend this series a little bit because it's so much fun to make. But there we go, a nice 80-kilometer apoapsis there, and just going to extend, so we use a maneuver node just so we can get the rough estimate how much we need to burn, how much delta V we need to burn to get to our desired orbit. It's not that much. The skipper, and obviously we don't have much engine on this, but it's not really designed for an orbiting craft. It's just designed to get to where it needs to be and then come back. It's not for like a high orbit. It's not for editing your orbit quite repeatedly. It's just for getting where you need to go and getting back, which is why I like this design. It is the Satellite Destroyer Mark 1, which I think is a pretty funny name if you ask me. But anyway, looks like there we go, got our orbit, and now we're going to switch over to our spy satellite so we can just time warp, because this thing is high enough so they can do the full 1,100,000 time warp. I forgot what it is. But we're going to time warp until those craft are very close together, as close together as they can be, like about there. And then we're going to switch over to it, and we are going to start our assault. try to take out the satellite and show Milo what he's up against. So here we go. And let's turn our craft around so we can start to burn to get closer to him now. Ooh. Alright guys, I'm back. Sorry about that. I thought I heard a banging noise coming from upstairs, but I guess it was just my imagination, because there was nothing. But anyway, here we go. We're going to start to burn towards this UFO, which we can now identify as a satellite, so I guess it isn't a UFO anymore. It's now a IFO, Identified Flying Object, I guess you could say. And we're just trying to get a closest approach vector here, so we can as close to this thing as possible. Now, as you can see, our orbit is now becoming suborbital, so we are going to land. After this, we only have one chance to hit this thing, and we only have 2 missiles anyway. They're both going to fire simultaneously for the best effect. And here we go. Looks like that is a good approach vector, 8.4 kilometers. That is good enough. That's in within 90 kilometers, and it is farther than 2, so this should be a very good test for our missile. Let's get our target him here so we can see our target. There we go. I like this this computer system. Very nice, very good. It looks like we're about to put it to the test with our missiles too, so we'll see how good this thing really is. It's gonna warp closer to it. Here we go. He can definitely see us now, so he's probably reporting to Milo, saying that there is an armed vessel coming at him. So Milo definitely knows what he is up against at this point. And now let us show him who is the real king of space. I guess that was so cheesy. Oh my god. Alright, so here we go. It looks like we're approaching that closest approach vector there. And there it is. Let's activate our missile cam so we can see what is going on as our missile approaches here. Let's reorganize our staging and fire those missiles. And there we go, missiles away. Let's see what happens here. Watching the missile cam. Where's the satellite? And we have a miss. The satellite's misfired. Not the satellite, the missile misfired. The satellite's still in orbit. This is not good. Oh god. Well, that backfired. Not only does Milo now know that we have weapons technology, that is not very great, so he's going to start developing weapons technology. He now knows that our targeting system isn't up to par, so he can make an early strike. This is horrible. This is bad news. And that satellite's still in orbit, and that's probably going to be sending information back about our missiles that don't even work at this point. This is not going to end well. We're going to have to start developing much better missile technology. Some people are going to be fired for that mishap right there. That is not very good at all. That was very disappointing. That was very anticlimactic. That was going to be so epic watching the thing explode from space. Oh well, it's time to get... Well, I think it's Bill. It's time to get Bill back. At least he's a loyal Kerbalnaut. I'm going to do a new tactic that I learned for re-entry, which is pretty much you spin your craft around so that you try to dissipate the heat evenly around the whole craft, and thus making like no one spot really hot, much hotter than the other. But wow, that is really suckish, I guess. We're gonna have to start developing weapons technology. Next episode, we're gonna head to the moon to start a weapons testing base, where we can start testing our weapons, because we need to fix those bugs quickly. Because now we know Milo's gonna strike, and he's gonna strike hard. Not only that, he probably could have gotten some of information from our missiles on that flyby. He could actually probably still collect those missiles. Granted that they're not going fast enough to, have escape velocity, because those things do go very fast. Here we go. Looks like our parachutes have been deployed, and we are going in for our landing. So that is episode 2 of Milo's Revenge, guys. It looks like we are going to have a tight next episode. I guess that's the word. Intense next episode. That's what I was looking for. So, like and favorite if you enjoyed. Comment if you want to have your say on this series. I'll gladly do any suggestions that you guys want me to do. Subscribe if you liked it. And I will see you guys next time on either, what is this called? Milo's Revenge or the tutorials. I think I'm going to do a tutorials video next. I haven't done one of those in a while. But thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time.